Hello there, World of Tankers. I'm Blitz, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the WZ-120. Not to be mistaken with the overpowered Chinese tank destroyer, this is the WZ-120 Tier 9 Tech Tree Chinese medium tank, and in my opinion, this is the hardest medium tank to play in the game. It's not because of the gun, it's not because of the mobility, it's not because of anything other than the gun depression. The gun, in my opinion, is actually what makes this tank very, very fun, very, very defined. It's got that amazing 2-second aiming time. While it doesn't have great dispersion, in my opinion, that aiming time more than equates for it. It's got decent damage per minute for it dealing 400 damage per shot. It's got very nice high explosive. If you do ever run this tank, I would 100% run calibrated on it because it gives you more heat penetration, and as well it gives you that nice HE pen of 75mm, which means that you can actually get through most of the sides and pretty much all rears of tanks you are aiming at. But it's just the gun depression on this tank, and it's only when you're running the big gun. And if you're going for the 121, you've already gone through the 34-2, I would definitely suggest you run the big gun over the 100mm, because yeah, well, the 100mm does do certain things better. It's just, in my opinion, it's not a great gun. The 100mm, it's just a tuned down 54, which is, in my opinion, not very fun to play. The issue with this tank is 3 degrees of gun depression is the only thing that makes this tank hard to play. If it had 5 degrees, in my opinion, it would be an excellent vehicle, and I'm not sure why Wargaming doesn't buff it. I know they want to keep in line, I guess, with the PC side on how this tank plays, but they've stated many times that they do not correlate themselves with World of Tanks PC, or just World of Tanks, which you call it in general, because this is Blitz. World of Tanks, they just don't correlate themselves with what they say in a lot of videos, so in my opinion, Wargaming should definitely buff the gun depression on this vehicle because it throws a lot of people off on this line. They keep buffing and buffing this tank, but they won't touch that gun depression value, which they did on the WZ-121. So you're going to see why this tank is pretty much unplayable in most scenarios. Now, of course, if you do like this type of video, I'm going to be telling you my tips and tricks on how to run this vehicle because, of course, getting the WZ-121 is one of the best things you can do in the game. It's one of the best tanks in my opinion. So, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you some of the tips and tricks I do have for this tank. Now, unfortunately, even though the enemy team has a 121B, they've got a T-54E1 and a WZ-120, they are not our team. Their team is probably going to be pushing the medium flank. Ours isn't, because for some reason our T-92E1 decided, you know what, we're going to go heavy tank. So, as you can see, nobody is going heavy route pretty much on the enemy team, except for maybe that VK. We're going to see what happens to him here. But I'm expecting that the enemy team is going to rush through here and just obliterate us in a couple seconds, and that's going to be the end of me. So I don't want to stay on that side of the map because I'm going to be eaten to pieces. So I'm going to sort of try and flank maybe through the middle here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do because the enemy team should be lining up right around there. There we go. They're already coming up behind us. But that VK is probably going to be aiming towards the rear of his tank, as you can see, and we managed to bounce the rear of his vehicle, which is very, very surprising to me. Hopefully he doesn't shoot at us. I really hope he doesn't, but here you go. You can see I'm going to be expelling a lot of damage here with the amazing DPM this tank does have. Putting on that fresh reloader, we're probably seeing it around 3,000 damage per minute. So there we go. There's our second penetration in this guy, and it looks like they all expect me to finish him off, which should make sense, so we're going to try and finish him off here. We're going to load a heat shell just to make sure it pens. There we go, finished him off, first tank taken out, and the enemy team as well finished off one of our tanks. So there we go, now we have the IS-7, who I'm not able to penetrate currently. Load a heat shell, nice pen into him. You're always going to notice, I'm always going to try and use my gun depression to the fullest on this tank. Now, of course, the enemy team again is just expecting me to kill these tanks for them, as like I'm some sort of bodyguard here. But you're always noticing, especially here, I'm wedging my tank down. I'm using the elevation of this hill to wedge my vehicle down. That way I can actually shoot the enemy tanks. Now, unfortunately, we did get slammed by that WZ-120 on the enemy team. I was going to try and slam that shell right through him there, but it looks like we aren't going to be able to hit that shot because, yeah, dispersion values on this tank, as I did say, not very good. But overall, we're actually doing decent here. Able to connect a few shells. We've got that T-54E1. Again, use that excellent aiming time. Slam a nice shell into the rear of his tank. Unfortunately, a very, very low roll. But you'll always notice, again here, I'm wedging my tank down. That way I get my gun depression. Nice HE. Again, another low roll. But you can see here, I'm using this little bit of elevation in the ground to wedge my tank's gun barrel down. So that way I am getting gun depression out. That's one little trick I would definitely suggest you do in this vehicle. It's really going to give you the ability to get some nice shells in there. There we go. Finally a nice roll. Just broke the 3,000 damage barrier. So this was actually a very nice game to show how the tank does work. As you can see there, because I put on Calibrated, I was just able to penetrate the side of that IS-7's turret. I would 100%, as I said before, run Calibrated on this vehicle. But as you can see, first game, very, very nice in the tank. 3,000 damage taken right off the enemy team. And that was because I used a little bit of ingenuity. I knew where to run the tank. Of course, when I rushed that VK, I knew, hey, I didn't need gun depression. He was looking the other way, so I could go up behind him. One of the big issues I would definitely suggest to stay away is from 152mm guns. Of course, you don't want to get hit by an E100 or anything larger like that 183 on the enemy team. Of course, you don't want to be hit by that in general, but this tank, especially with the 121 as well, just doesn't have a very strong ammo rack. For some reason, the Chinese tanks have honestly the worst ammo racks in Blitz, especially this one. So whenever you're running it, even in this game, I'm actually worried that my ammo rack might explode. So that's one thing you always have to keep an eye out for. But this is actually a very nice map for me because Dynasty is, as you can see, all paved road, which means I'm not going to have to worry that much about gun depression. But of course, I'm pushing my tank up this little itty bitty hill here, which I normally do, which means that, yeah, it's going to struggle quite a bit in my opinion here, but we're going to have to see how it does perform. So we've got that Sheridan right there on the enemy lineup. I'm not going to be able to tap him, and I don't want him to tap a missile into me, so I'm going to be very, very careful here. We've got an E50M looking like he wants to play very, very aggressively, and I don't want to play that well with him, so maybe, just maybe, there you go. You can see, though, our gun depression just isn't enough to really fight that E50M right now. There we go, nice tap into our tank there. But there we go, we finally got a nice tap right to that E50M's turret. While we don't have gun depression, we do have that nice penetration, which I'm always going to be running with this vehicle. Again, we're going to see if we can tap that E50 right in the turret. You can see that Sheridan is targeting us quite a bit, which means I don't want to be hit by that. So this E50M, maybe we can tap him. I'm not going to try, though. I do know that Sheridan was shooting one shell at me, which means he'll probably shoot another. So I'm going to back up here. I want to make sure I don't get hit by that enemy Sheridan. So, yeah, I'm going to back up. We've got that VK-45 on the other side. I'm always going to be cautious in this tank. As I've said, I can't work gun depression, so like that Sheridan's just going to rip me apart because I can't do anything about it. But we've got this enemy VK-45 here. We're going to tap a heat shell right to the side of his tank, put on our fast reloader. Maybe we'll be able to tap him again, and we're going to see if this E100 is going to pull out here. Come on, take the shot, E100. There you go. E100 took the shell. Actually, he didn't. I thought he took the shot, but it's more like he backed up after he fired, which makes sense, but here we go. I'm going to, come on, E100, what are you doing, buddy? This guy's, just in my way. Okay, we're going to leave, because this E100's blocking me, and, I'm not going to deal with that. That's no fun, so we're going to go back over to our side. That E100 can do his thing over there, so maybe we can clear this T92. I'm always looking for flat grounds. For my biggest opportunities are going to be flat ground. So we actually have that 57 heavy back there, so maybe a nice tap into his tank. Now we actually get the outer part of his turret, which is very unfortunate for us. But there we go. We have the enemy T92 right there, who looks like he might tap us. Now if he does tap us, I don't think he can one-shot us. Nope, there we go. So we just have enough hit points left, which means that I should be able to finish him off here as long as he doesn't ram us. But yes, we're going to finish him off. There we go. Enemy T92 taken out. I wanted to take that guy out very, very quickly because, of course, a T92 is a big threat to anybody on the enemy lineup, especially my vehicle, because of course I can't really work the gun depression too well. We've got that enemy Sheridan who just might get an unlucky shell right into the turret. There we go. Nice tap into his vehicle. So there you go, a nice victory overall. Wasn't the craziest amount of damage, only 1,500, but we still came out with the victory here. That's always what you want to do. So that's one victory, and hopefully we're going to be able to tap this leopard, just maybe, if we can get in there quick enough. We're going to see if we can. HE, and there you go, a nice HE right to the rear of that leopard. I'm really slurring my English today. But I think we were just able to maybe break 2,000, if not we were at about 1,900. But overall, very nice game there. There you go, 1,980 damage. So it wasn't a great game, but as you can see, we were able to move around the map, use our gun depression in scenarios where it was effective. Of course, I couldn't use my tank in that spot where the E50M was, because the guy was just in a position that I can't personally fight. I'm not able. He's got 8 degrees of gun depression, and I've got 3. He's got 5 more than me. He can easily tap me in the hull, pull out, use that spot he was in, where I can't fight that. The Sheridan was over there. Again, I can't even hit the Sheridan, let alone aim down at him. and he'll shoot missiles down at me. So of course, when I saw that T-92, I took the chance, I wanted to take him out, and you have to be able to take chances like that. You can't just stay back and say, you know what, I'll wait for the T-92 to die. I needed to take that guy out. Unfortunately, my teammate did shoot him there, which is good, but I did lose a little bit of damage there, especially for all the hit points I did lose. But overall, we were able to win. Overall, nice match. Not sure why I'm saying overall there, but just a good game in general. And you can see, even in some of the toughest scenarios, you can work this tank pretty well. So I hope you guys did learn something from this video, how to wedge your tank up certain ridge lines. You can also wedge your tank up the side of a wall sometimes. That'll give you some extra gun depression. It's very hard to run this tank, but in my opinion, it's definitely worth it to go down this line. Because of course, the WZ-121, in my opinion, is the strongest tier 10 medium tank currently in the game, right up there with the STB-1. It is just crazy damage per minute. It's the highest in the game. Or the highest for a tier 10 medium in the game. As well, it's got good gun handling. Overall, just a very solid tank. And as well, it actually has very, very strong hull armor. So the 121 is a 100% go-to tank. And when you're getting the 120, I 100% suggest to use the 120mm on the tank. First of all, because it's in the name. And second of all, because you're learning how to play the 121 when you're running this tank. And when you get the 121 and you get twice as much gun depression, you really feel so lucky to have that gun depression on that vehicle. So hopefully you guys did like this video. As always, if you did, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I hope you're all doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.